Hi, now that we have explored what Cookidoo can do as an introduction, let's talk about planning. So whether you're feeding a family or you're just getting organised for the week ahead, Cookidoo makes it simple to plan meals and shop smarter. Let's look at how. In this video, we're going to be focusing on the next three headings next to the Explore heading, which is My Recipes, My Week, and Shopping List. Now, meal planning is a great way of ensuring that you can save some money and some time. I know in the past, and you might be guilty of this as well, of not having meal planned, and sometimes the ingredients that I have purchased the week before in my fridge or in my pantry go to waste, and nobody wants that. So let's have a look how we can avoid that and use our Cookidoo platform to really help us, inspire us, and make sure that we're all organized for the week ahead. Now, in the last video, you looked at how you can search for recipes and use the filters to find some recipes that you like. Now, I usually spend some time while I'm sitting on the couch. Maybe it's on a Thursday night. It could be on the weekend to get ready for the week ahead. Let's go back to chicken. It's one of my family's favourite proteins. And let's assume I've already filtered, and I can see that this one here captures my attention. It's the family chicken galette. Now, if I know without a doubt that that recipe is one I'm going to try, because I can see it's got a 5 rating here out of 636 people who have rated it, that's pretty high. It's not too long for me. But let's say somebody has told me about it and I know I really want to give it a go. I don't have to click into the recipe. I can use these 3 dots, which is like our More button. And I can either put it to cook today, where it will instantly be on the screen of my Thermomix, because it's all seamlessly connected. Anything I do on this Cookidoo platform, whether it's on my app on the phone, the web browser, or on the screen of my Thermomix, it will transfer to all of my devices. Now, I can cook today, I can bookmark it. Say I want to just hold it for another day to come back to and I don't want to forget about it. I can bookmark that recipe. I can add it to a recipe list, which I'll go to in a moment. But in this case, we're looking at adding it to our week. We'll get to adding it to our shopping list and created recipes soon. Now, I wanted to show you when you do actually go into a recipe, I can also access that exact same menu and options from the More button, the 3 dots here on the right here. So I've looked at the recipe, I can see the ingredients of what I want, I can see the method is what I want, and this is my little bookmark shortcut if I wanted to bookmark it, but I'm ready to start planning, so I'm going to add it to my week, and I'm going to put it into today, and I'm going to press save. Now, you'll see in my week, before I did that, there was actually nothing there, but now all of a sudden we can see that my chicken galette is on my today's list. So now I'm going to go back to Explore and I'm going to type in beef because I'd like to add a beef recipe for the next night. I'm just selecting main meals at this stage, but you can absolutely select multiple meals for one day. You might choose a breakfast and a dessert as well, and a snack perhaps on each day. You can totally utilize this as much or as little as you like. Now, I'm liking the look of my beef stroganoff. I've gone in and checked the recipe. I'm just going to add it to my week, and let's say that's tomorrow night's. I also am going to go back to my Explore button. I want some suggestions of some snacks that I can also have on that night. And here we've got a savoury herb baked ricotta, which sounds fantastic. Let me just have a quick look at it. It's definitely available for whichever version Thermomix you have. And we're going to populate that to also be tomorrow. And then perhaps I wanted a main dish, but it's a vegetarian for my next night's meal, and I want to have a look at this leek and cheese tart, and we're going to add that as well to Thursday. So let's have a look now at my week and have a look at what it's looking like. I can see that Wednesday I haven't populated it, but that's okay because maybe I'm going out with the family on Wednesday to a family event. but I've got enough there to work with. Now, once I have it in my week, I can now add it to my shopping list. This is another great feature of Cookidoo, where it's going to help me with my shopping. So again, going to my 3 dots or our More button, we can add each of these recipes to the shopping list. And what it's going to do is you go into your heading shopping list, and you will see that it's now collated all of those recipes ingredients into one long list for me. And let's just say there are a couple of recipes that had different amounts of raw almonds. It focus it for you. If I wanted to look at all of the recipes individually and each of the ingredients under those recipes, those specific recipes, I can do that here. But I find it quite easy to look at the category because I love that it actually combines those amounts for me. Now, the next step here would be to go to your pantry with the list, and you can access this, remember, on your app on your phone, and I can go to my pantry and my fridge and look at which ingredients I might already have and check them off. So I know that I have dark brown sugar already, so I'm just going to check that off. I know that I don't need to buy chilled water because we've got that on tap, so we're going to get rid of those and take them off. I also know I have corn flour. So you can keep going and checking off the ingredients that you know you have. They haven't disappeared forever. If you make a mistake, they're right down the bottom here. The best thing about this shopping list, I can also add additional items. So I only have one universal shopping list that I take with me to my shopping, and I can put things like paper towels, maybe some toothpaste, and maybe pet food on there as well. So they're now going to appear on the list as well. Now, if I was not the person that was doing the shopping, we'll go to our little 3 dots, and we can share this recipe by copying those ingredients and then pasting them either into a text message or an email, or sharing them with myself if I wanted it easily accessible in my notes on my phone. You can do that too. The one extra feature from these shopping lists, once I know I've got all of my lists, I've condensed that ingredient list to only what I need to buy, I can go and order these ingredients by clicking order. Now, depending where you are, whether you're Australia or New Zealand, will depend on whether this option comes up. For Australia, the only store we have available for online shopping at the moment is Woolworths. And when you click into Woolworths, you will see all of the ingredients listed there. However, I can swap out the brand if I want to, which is really an awesome feature. We'd add it to our cart and decide whether we wanted to do click and collect or have it delivered. How cool is that? Right, so now that we've talked about meal planning and creating a weekly plan of what we want to feed the family or ourselves for the coming week, and we've created a shopping list and perhaps even ordered our ingredients, I do want to just skip back to this first tab that we haven't spoken about yet, and that is My Recipes. You can create, just like a music platform, certain playlists, which we call on Cookidoo My Recipe Lists. This is super handy, especially as you utilize Cookidoo more and more. You can use this feature to quickly access recipes that you've maybe favorited or cooked before, and you can categorize them into whatever category you'd like. So for me, I like to categorize via protein. So I might have a beef collection or recipe list. I might have a chicken recipe list. I might have a breakfast recipe list. Occasionally, I might have a special event, like it might be a Christmas dinner or one of my children's birthdays, and I'll create a list for that. Certain members of the family might have their own lists that they like to add their favourite recipes into, or you might like to theme it cocktails. Now, how do I create a recipe list? Really, really simple. You can do it via going to this heading and putting a recipe list, but I also can, while I'm exploring, let's say I created a soups collection and I love this versatile soup. I can, in my drop-down menu here, add it to a recipe list. Now, if I didn't have a soups recipe list, which I do in this case, you can also create the recipe list from this point here. but we do have a recipe list here. So I'm going to go back to soups, and then when I go to my recipes and select soups, you'll find it's here, along with my chicken noodle soup, another favourite soup of ours. It's as simple as that. We were talking about bookmarking before, and bookmarks can be found here. And as I mentioned, this is where I store recipes that I have come across, really like the look of, but perhaps haven't had time to cook them yet and know what I want to do with them. So I keep them here in my bookmarks. Other times people do use this bookmark area for just putting their favourites, so that it's a really easy place for you to come and find your favourite recipes. Totally up to you. It's your Cookidoo platform. You can organize it the way that you like and you prefer. Now, something to note here is that occasionally you may not have access to Wi-Fi. So to use Cookidoo, you do need Wi-Fi connection because, as I mentioned, it does seamlessly connect to all of your devices. Now, if you knew that you were going to be without Wi-Fi, perhaps you were traveling or caravanning, all you need to do is save these recipes, either bookmark them or put them into your weekly planner, and they will be available for you offline whenever you like. So as you can see, with just a few taps, you've got your week sorted and your shopping list ready to go. It's that easy. And if you'd like more ideas or tips on meal planning with your Thermomix, your consultant is the perfect person to ask. Now, coming up next, we'll show you how to scale recipes, create your own, and even import favorites from our recipe community.